Hi everyone, thanks for watching another video about this CompTIA Security Plus certification. Today we're going to look at some exam questions. We will go over them together and hopefully we can learn from it. This way you have a good idea what you can expect on the exam. Thanks for watching, see you soon. Hi everyone, thanks for checking out another InfoSec Hub video. This time we're going to talk about the CompTIA Security Plus certification exam. And we're going to go into video number 15. So without any further ado, let's keep it moving. Test number 15. Which of the following terms refers to a microchip that contains all the necessary circuitry and components for a given electronic system on a single chip? That's system on a chip, SoC, system on a chip. Continue. A type of OS operating system characterized by low delay between the execution of tasks required in specific applications such as in military missile guidance systems or in automotive braking systems is known as. It's known as a real-time operating system, in other words RTOS, real-time operating system. So indeed, for military missile guidance systems, braking systems in cars, etc. A document stored in the memory of this device can pose a risk of unauthorized data access. A multifunction display. MDF. Which of the answers listed below refers to a technical security control that can be applied to an UAV? That's wireless signal encryption and password protection. That's UAV. The meaning of this, what is this again? Just for the complete, an unmarked aerial vehicle, like a drone, for instance. Okay. Wireless signal encryption and password protection. SDLC model, software license, SDLC, software system development lifecycle. Okay, yes. So, okay, software development lifecycle. So it's about software development. A model features a linear design process consistent of distinct sequential stages. Is known as waterfall. So these are all methodologies. Agile is a different methodology to develop software. One of the main premises behind the waterfall software development model is the adaptation to changes during the software development process rather than the strict adherence to a well-documented sequence of steps. That's false. It is documented. The term DevOps refers to software development strategy that relies on close cooperation between development and IT operations teams during the software development process. That is correct. DevOps, what the word already says, so developments and operations. So yeah, they work together. Continue. Which of the following terms refers to a DevOps software deployment approach in which applications and services are redeployed rather than modified whenever a need to introducing a change occurs? Security automation, immutable systems. Immutable systems. A DevOps practice that replaces manual configuration of hardware with automatic deployment through code is called, let's see, Immediate or cancel? Immediate. IAC. I thought it was that one. IAC. In any case, anti-corruption. Infrastructure as code. Infrastructure as code. That's what it was. Okay. Which programming aspects listed below are critical in secure application development process? Secure application development. Input validation is very important to validate what you put into the web app, because sometimes if it's not validated, then you can type in something and the application will do something that you don't expect, which can be beneficial for a hacker. So always validate the input. And the second one is error and exception handling. We're really talking about web applications and web application development. Which of the following answers refers to a countermeasure against code injection? That's input validation again. Look up cross-site scripting, for instance. So a countermeasure against code injection, input validation. The process of removing redundant entities from a database is known as normalization. To normalize the data. Which are the countermeasures against SQL injection attacks? Stored procedures with the database, and again input validation. Injection attacks. So you really inject code into the database, try to trick it. So there are examples, for instance, that you put some code into a web form, or maybe you change the URL, and the database will be dumped on your system, basically. That way you can download the database and get all the information about customers, prices, you name it, and all by just a SQL injection attack. Those are not that common no more, but they still do occur. Continue. What is the purpose of code signing? Code signing. Well, code signing confirms the app source of origin. So, the source code of an application is always code, indeed. It's the programming language. And if it's signed, then it's the original source code, basically. And the second one is it validates the application integrity. Sorry for my phone, but keeps on going. Anyway, continue. Code obfuscation techniques rely on encryption to protect the source data against unauthorized access. Is that correct? No, it's not correct. Code obfuscation is something else. Continue. A type of redundant source code producing an output not used anymore in the application is commonly known as dead code. So that means the code is still basically around. It's still in the source code. There's just a part of code that is not being used anymore, and it hasn't been phased out or removed. Which, it kind of is a security threat. So if you don't use the code, it's become dead code, and the best thing to do is just to remove it. Continue. Which of the acronyms listed below refers to a specialized suite of software tools used for developing applications for a specific platform? That's easy. That's a software developer kit or an SDK. I don't know if any of you already tried to make Android applications or iOS applications. First thing you need to do is download the SDK on which the development can start for that specific platform. So you have SDKs for Android and iOS, and probably also for Windows, but I'm not sure about that last part. No, not for Windows, I think, because it's closed sourced, but I think you have SDKs for Ubuntu or different Linux distributions since that's open source. Yeah. Android, by the way, is also based on Linux. A collection of commonly used programming functions designed to speed up a software development process is known as. It's a library. Library. Um, so you have programming functions. Let's say, for instance, you have a website and you have a contact form, and that contact form stores your data into the database. That's a programming function. This kind of function is used many times by so many people. So somebody already wrote it, it's tested, it's out there. This function works properly and can be used by others. So you take this programming function and implement it into your own project, and yeah, this is called a library. I hope I'm a little bit clear about that. It's just a function that you can reuse, and other people can use it and look at the source code and yeah, kind of implement it into their own projects. What type of third-party code poses increased security risk during the application development process? Believe it or not, SDKs and also libraries, because you use somebody else's code. If you're not careful and you don't know what the code does, then that's a security threat. If you're a programmer, it's always best to really check the source code and verify if it's correct, and if there's no extra code in there that might impose a threat to your to the integrity of your program. So SDKs, software development kits, and libraries. Shareware, dead code, and bloatware is just different things. A dynamic code analysis allows for detecting application flaws without the need for actual execution of application code. Is that correct? No, that's not correct. The practice of finding vulnerabilities in an application by feeding it incorrect input is known as fuzzing. Normalization has to do with the database. Hardening, you harden systems, and baselining, I have no idea. I can check if I can find it. Baselining process, which the cost effectiveness, network baselining. Yeah, has to do with costs. So fuzzing. A type of code that has already been translated from a high-level programming language into a low-level programming language and converted into an executable file is referred to as compiled code. A type of code saved in the same format as it was entered and interpreted during programming execution is known as runtime code. This really has to do something with programming, and just know these terms. Just know the terms. You don't need to do some programming, but you need to know like less than the basis about it. Just learn those terms. In Virtualization Technology, a software program that manages multiple operating systems or multiple instances of the same operating system on a single computer is called a hypervisor. With this software, you kind of control the virtual machines. It's like software on top of the virtual machines. VMware has a hypervisor, for instance, and with this one, you can basically control your whole server farm, if you want to call it that. You see all your servers there, what operating system, which version, how many CPUs that operating system uses, how much memory is in use, how much memory is available, the hard drive, how big is the hard drive, how much is in use, how much is still free, things like that. That's what a hypervisor does. And a virtual machine is just one individual machine that's connected to that hypervisor. The hypervisor is the graphical user interface, if that makes sense. the graphical user interface of your whole, of all your servers. Okay, which of the virtualization manager types interacts directly with hardware? Hardware is type 1. How do I know? I read the book. Hope this was useful. Let's go to finish. Let's see. I missed here. Oh, MFD, not. That's a stupid mistake. That's a stupid mistake. Multifunction display, so MFD, not MDF. Okay, let's see. Furthermore, looking good, looking good. Okay, hypervisor. Okay, 25 questions, answered correctly 24. So pretty good. Yeah, hopefully this video is useful for you. And yeah, we still have a few more videos to go. I will do all the 24 tests and go over them together with you guys. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you guys in the next video.